Yes, viewers and subscribers, I'm back at it again. One more good video for you guys, letting you guys know what's going on here at Transam, you know what I mean? As you guys can read what the caption says, I made $1,400 in 1 week here at Transam. And you know, if you guys watch my previous videos, you guys know I'm a company driver. I'm not a lease owner operator or whatever they want to call it. I'm a company driver here at Transam. I must say this is by far the most money I've made here in 1 week, without the sign-on bonus included, you know what I mean? And you guys, in case you guys are wondering if it's is that before taxes, 1,400 before taxes, or 1,400 after taxes, it's 1,400 after taxes. Basically, so I'm gonna let you guys know how I ended up making $1,400, getting paid $1,400 here at Transam. Basically, you know, there's other drivers out there that's gonna watch this video that don't work for Transam or used to work for Transam or whatever the case is, and they're gonna be like, oh, $1,400, that's like, you know, whatever they make, XYZ. No, I've made $1,400 in a week at other jobs before I came into trucking, so I'm used to making that kind of money. But for being here at Transam, that for me, that is a big deal, you know what I mean? Because you don't make that kind of money not every pay week here at Transam, basically, you know what I mean? So yeah, and as like I said, I am a company driver. I'm not a lease operator or anything like that.
You haven't signed logs from the prior 7 days that need to be signed.
Man, it's so annoying. But basically, this is what happened. If you guys watch my last video that I posted, I was telling you about the relay, and how they will stop you in between your loads to get you, you know, to slow you down, basically, so you don't make 3,000 miles. And what had happened was, I was on a load. I was already at like 2,400, 2,500 miles for the week. I was on a load. I had time to drive where I could drive like 500-600 miles for the day, so that would put me right in my target. And they basically stopped me as soon as I started driving to relay up 60 miles up the road. When I was 15 miles away, I pulled over on the side of the road and I sent them a message saying, hey, send me my original load information because I'm not going to the relay point. However, I did stop at the relay point because it was in the same direction that I was going in the first place. And I was like, you know what, I don't just want to continue going and then they play around with my money and my miles. So I went ahead and I stopped. That's when I did that video while I was in the parking lot there waiting. And while I was waiting, my driver manager texted me back and asked me, why not? Why am I not going to the relay point? Was that? And I basically went over certain things with them, stating that, hey, I have responsibilities. This is not working in my favor. I understand that I'm a company driver and I can't refuse relays, but at the same time, I have bills to pay. You know what I mean? So I can't be doing the company favors all the time. You know what I mean? And then basically 30 minutes later, she had the planners put me back on my load. No. They put me back on my load, so I was going to drive. Like I said, I had time to drive 500-600 miles. I was 80 miles away. I drove my 500 miles that I wanted to drive, and I was 80 miles away from where I was going to stop. They called me, right, and said, they called me and then the call ended. After the call ended, they sent me a message on my Garmin saying, hope you're headed to the relay point. So at this point, I'm like, what the fuck are these people talking about? Excuse my language. What the hell are these people talking about? Because basically, I passed that relay and the agreement was they're giving me back my original load. So why are they, you know? So they had set up a new relay for me, which was in the same distance, 80 miles away from where I was going to stop. It was just in a different direction. I wasn't mad because I already drove my target. Got to the relay point. Driver left his lock on a trailer. That was a mess because he wasn't there. His truck was in the shop. He was at a hotel. I had to get it cut off. You know, that's a whole different story. I'm not trying to make this video too long or stretch it out. So Friday came, right? And every Friday morning they're gonna send you a text message on your Garmin around 7-8 o'clock telling you how much miles you make. You know, what's your next pay period miles gonna be. Okay, my pay period miles after I drove that amount of miles, because you know the pay period cut off at 12 midnight, I made 3,108 miles. Right? 3,108 miles for the week for that pay period. So I did a rough calculation. I didn't really do the numbers in my head. I did a rough calculation, and then I knew this check was gonna be like $1,000 or over $1,000, basically, because you're gonna get per diem and all that stuff. So when I got paid this morning, when I checked it, I got $1,417. That's what I got paid after taxes. The only thing that's included in that, other than my miles pay, is my tuition reimbursement, which is $125. That's still what? That's still what? 1,300, 1,200 and like 80 something bucks, almost $1,300 in a week. You know what I mean? Because my sign-on bonus, my tuition reimbursement is only $125, and they pay that out every month. You know what I mean? So that's still $1,280, almost $1,300. You know what I mean? That's good bread for a week. Also included in this miles pay, I had a total of 5 stops, and it's $25 each for a stop. So basically an extra $100. You know what I mean? That's how I ended up making $1,400 here at Transam Trucking, not being a lease driver, being a company driver. Now you guys understand why I basically was so pissed off in my last video when I was sharing with you guys that you know what Transam does and how they stop you in between your miles and cut your miles and all that. That's because I wanted to push to make the target, so I would be able to get this kind of paycheck. You know what I mean? Now if they can keep me at that amount of miles every week, I'm good. You know what I mean? Problem is they don't do that. You gotta be on them, bro. Like, I made 3,108 miles last week. I only made 2,072 miles this week. Now I could have got better miles this week. A part of it was the relay. They had me do a relay with a driver, and basically after my truck got finished servicing, they gave me the load 2 in the afternoon. I was relaying at Kansas, and the guy left with the bills, and they tried to get a hold of him. They texted him on the Garmin, they called him, they did everything they could to get a hold of him, and this guy just was not picking up. So I wasn't able to get the bills until 3 a.m. in the morning. So that just messed my whole week up, because that load had stops on there. It had 2 stops on 2 separate days, and basically what had happened, I wasn't going to make the first stop on time. I got the load Saturday at 2. I was supposed to be done with the load by Tuesday, early morning Tuesday. 6 o'clock was my appointment. So I would have been there, shut down, drove under 5 miles per hour, bumped the dock without starting my clock on Tuesday, and then they would have seen that, and they would have given me a load to pick up the same day, because I would have a fresh clock and have the hours, and then I'll be able to make at least 2,600, 2,700 miles by the end of the week. But because it took so long for me to get the bills, I wasn't able to make it there on time for the first delivery time, so they pushed that back, way back. I never got done with the load until Wednesday for a 1,000-mile run. You know what I mean? Wednesday morning, basically, before I got done unloaded. So I had to push last night just to get over 2,000 miles in. And that's another video that I'm going to do, like mistakes that rookies be making. I'm a rookie myself. I'm not excluding myself. So I'm saying mistakes that rookies make, mistakes that I make, mistakes that new people in the game make. So I'm basically going to be doing a video on that, so when you guys get in the game, you guys don't make those mistakes, because it can affect you, your pay, your miles, and it can affect the other driver also. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I think that's about it. You know what I mean? I want to, it's all facts with me. I tell you guys what's going on here. No sugarcoating anything. I tell you guys like it is. I'm not adding anything. I'm not taking away anything. You know what I mean? I'm telling you guys. I'm giving you guys all facts out here. What goes on at Transam. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Any questions or concern you guys have, just drop them down below. I try my best to respond to all the comments. And if there's anything specific that you guys want me to talk about, just drop them down below and I'll do a video on that. In the meantime, be safe out there. Like I said, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year when it comes. Peace out.